Buenas tardes, mi amigos. ¿Cómo estás? Oh, wait, sorry. English, yeah. I live in Ecuador now, so yeah, I just break it into Spanish sometimes out of habit. And anyway, let's get this show on the road. Hey guys, what's going on? The name is AK, owner of Extreme Measure Productions, and today I'm bringing you yet another X-React video presentation. And today I'm going to be reacting to some interesting news coming from Sony. The PlayStation VR headset is already profitable. It's been on sale for a little over 24 hours now, and according to the president of Sony Interactive Entertainment, Mr. Sean Layden, yeah, PSVR is already profitable. He recently had a discussion with Polygon and he told them, we're making money on the VR console. That's it. That's the comment right there. Okay, video's over. Goodbye. Okay, but seriously. Yeah, that is all that he had to say. He did not elaborate further on as to exactly how that they're making money on PSVR already. But it kind of falls into expectations with what a lot of analysts were thinking. They are expecting PSVR to become the poster child for virtual reality headsets as relates to gaming. And that kind of makes sense because it is the cheapest of the three options that you have between the HTC Vive and Oculus Rift. The PSVR is very inexpensive, although it is still expensive. So it's inexpensive, but it's expensive at the same time. Or to make it less confusing, it's more affordable than the other options, but it's still expensive. Because if you do not have a PS4, in order to buy the PSVR and everything that you need for it, that is the two Move controllers and the PS camera, you know, they have a bundle, and that is going for $500 US. And that's not counting the PS4, and the PS4 right now is $300. So for $300 plus $500, that is $800 that you're gonna have to spend if you want a a PSVR experience. And if you get the PS4 Pro, which is coming out next month, that's gonna cost you $900. Wow, so yeah, virtual reality is very expensive, and the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive are starting at like $700 and $800. And then, of course, that does not include the PC that you're going to need to have in order to run it. And a powerful enough PC to run the Oculus Rift. Actually, Oculus just announced this like a couple of days ago that they're partnering with CyberPower PC, I think it is. Sorry about that notification from one of my workmates, but as I was saying, yeah, Oculus just announced a few days ago that they're partnering with CyberPower PC, I think it is, to bring a more affordable Oculus-ready PC, which is powered by AMD. And I think it costs, I think it was $500. I can't check it right now, but I think it was somewhere around there. But anyway, the Oculus Rift itself is still $600 to buy. So virtual reality is very expensive, and if you're going to do it on PC, it's going to be even more expensive. So with PSVR, you have the most direct and most affordable way to get into virtual reality gaming in a premium fashion. And that's great. That's really great that Sony is out there with that option. They're the only ones. Nintendo isn't doing it yet. Microsoft isn't doing it yet. So in the console space, they remain unchallenged. So yeah, it's not exactly far off to think that, you know, PSVR is going to be able to do good now, right now, you know, here in the present. But it's good that it's doing great now, that they're already making a profit off of it. But what about the long term? What about next year, and the year after that, and the year after that? Are we going to have another 3D TV debacle again? Because remember, just a few years ago, 3D TVs were all the rage. Everybody wanted a 3D TV, and these companies were really pushing it. If you remember, there were even a few 3D games on the PS3 and the 360. So, and Sony even had made their own 3D TV and tried to push the 3D compatibility with the PS3 with its Sony 3D TV. So yeah, 3D was a very big deal back then. Just a few years ago, it wasn't even 10 years. It's like, we're looking at it like 5-6 years ago. So this is recent, and yet that just vanished off the face of the earth, as you can clearly see. So I'm wondering if VR is going to follow the exact same trend, where it's all hype now, it's all fun and games now, but what about 2-3 years from now? Are people still going to be as excited as they are about it? Who knows? We don't know. This is a brand new technology. Never has it been this far advanced. You know, we had, you know, demonstrations of virtual reality machines. Well, not demonstrations, they were actual virtual reality systems back in the 90s. Of course, the most famous of them is the Virtual Boy. But, of course, we saw how that happened. So the technology was not ready at that time. But now, we're a little smarter, our technology is more advanced, and so now virtual reality really is happening in the most proper way that it can. And that's great. It's great that PSVR is doing well. Oculus has refused to release their numbers for how much Rift sales that they have, but they have been very proud of the Gear VR, which is of course for mobile devices. So yeah, it's a growing market. A lot of companies are invested in it right now. I really don't know how Sony is already making money on this thing though. Research and development alone should not have been that little for them to already be making money on this. But one of my coworkers made a good point. You know, they're using, for instance, the PlayStation Move all over again, which is technology that they developed years ago, and now they've been able to resurrect it and use it as the motion tracking for the PlayStation VR. So I guess that kind of took a little bit out of the research and development budget, but I still really don't know how that they're selling this already. It is sold out on Amazon. They may just be creating demand on their own by restricting shipments, kind of like what Nintendo was doing with Amiibo. I mean, seriously, do you really think that the whole Amiibo madness thing was just happened to be by accident? That was all Nintendo. Game Theory actually did a really great video about that, about how Nintendo created a very, very, very good marketing campaign with the Amiibo madness. Yeah, go ahead and watch that video. I'll have to link that down below. It's probably exactly what Sony is doing here with the PlayStation VR. They're restricting shipments to make sure that it stays in the headlines as being sold out. Everybody wants a PlayStation VR headset and stuff like that. But I really am sort of excited for VR. I just really want to see how it's going to turn out. I'm not totally sold on it. I definitely am not going to be owning a VR headset, or at least a premium one, anytime soon. Maybe something like Google's new Daydream VR, or maybe the Gear VR, but definitely not something like the PSVR. There's just way too much money at once. No way, Jose. And there aren't that much compelling games out there right now. There are a few games that are really, really good on VR, but there aren't too many compelling games. So that's the thing right now. It's brand new technology, it's just starting. So if you buy a VR headset this year, you can say that you're one of the pioneers of virtual reality. If this really does turn out to be the next big thing, you can happily say that you were one of the pioneers of virtual reality, because this is brand new technology, completely uncharted waters. Uncharted, PSVR. Yeah, seriously, it's brand new. It's in its infancy, its complete infancy, so how it's going to go is anybody's guess. Right now, there aren't too many compelling games out there on any of the VR headsets, but there are a few. But that number has to grow if more people are going to adopt it, because even if you have a lot of people hyped for it right now, and a lot of people want to get their hands on it because they want the brand new shiny thing, how is it going to be, like I said, a couple of months from now, next year, and the year after that? Are people still going to be invested in it? Are people still going to be excited for it, or are they just going to feel like they just bought a paperweight? It was cool at the time, but now they don't know what to do with it. They're bored with it. You don't want that for something that costs so much money, for people to just get bored with it after a couple of months. Obviously, you're going to get bored of it eventually. The hype is going to wear off and you're going to get used to it. But you still want to be able to feel like that was money well spent, and you still want to keep investing money in it. You're not going to just want to put it in a shelf and just put it away forever after using it only a couple dozen times. No, you don't want that. Not for something this expensive. So that's the thing with VR. Can it really keep people entertained? Or is it just going to be cool now, and then tomorrow it's whatever? Like how 3D TVs were. It was really cool, and then everyone was like, okay, whatever, moving on now. So yeah, I don't know how it's going to do in the long run, but it's great that Sony's being able to make a profit off of it so early in the game. And it's definitely going to give the fight to Oculus Rift and HTC Vive. Of course, those are different markets. That's the PC market. So they're already dealing with a pretty niche market right there, because with a PC, a lot of people have PCs, but of course not everyone games on their PC, and if they do, it's usually very, very light, especially if you own a MacBook. You don't do any gaming at all. So for the PC market, the only people who they can sell the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift to are the PC gamers. A lot of PC gamers aren't really interested in VR. You do have a few who are, but the majority of them are just interested in playing games now in 4K and with 120 Hz screens. That's what they're really interested in. They aren't interested in VR. So you have a niche market there. Whereas with a console, it's a gaming console. Some people buy consoles for the multimedia features as well, but it's first and foremost a video game machine. So it's only natural that something like VR would work very well with a console. And Sony's the first one out of the gate, so they're gonna have a one-up automatically on Nintendo and Microsoft. But I guess those two can actually see how Sony's doing it with the PSVR and try and possibly make their own headsets better. Or possibly, if it does fail, might not even get into it at all. Even if they have already started research and development on their own VR headsets, if it turns out that PSVR is great now, but in dire straits a couple of months from now or a few years from now, then it probably won't be that big of a deal to them, because it never would have been a product that actually made it to market. Even if they did put some research and development into it, at least it didn't release it to market and then have to just deal with the losses, like how Samsung is doing right now with the Note 7 and that whole recall fiasco. Sad case that is, but that's getting off topic a little bit. But yeah, I'm interested to see how VR is going to turn out. I'm not completely sold on it yet. There is yet to be a game that I've seen that really makes me want a VR headset. Maybe in the future, but certainly not now. And I'm just going to wait to see how it turns out. It could go good, it could go not so good. We're just really going to have to wait and see, because again, this is a brand new technology, completely in its infancy, and if you're getting one with either now or within the next few months, within the next year really, you're going to be a VR pioneer virtual reality headset. So think about that. Good for you if you have the money to throw down on any of these headsets, because these are expensive machines. If you get the PSVR and you don't have the PS4 already, you're going to be spending close to $1,000. And if you get the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift and you have to upgrade your PC, you're definitely going to be spending over $1,000. So yeah, expensive technology this is. I still think it's just a rich kid's toy right now. We'll see how it turns out, you know? Time will tell. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up this video right here. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Until then, this is AK, owner of Extreme Measure Productions, signing off. Have a good one.